When you think about guests or pundits who've been difficult or you haven't found easy to work with, where does Alf Ramsey rank?
Well, this is an interesting story because one of the things that I've said in my book is that I followed all these great names. I used to get on a train to go see Jimmy Greaves, and I was involved in him coming into television. I used to follow Billy Wright as a model footballer captain, and then I worked for him. And Brian Clough I saw as a schoolboy, and then et cetera, et cetera. So it was very strange how life works out. I once interviewed Sir Alf Ramsey when I was at Westwood Television and found him really difficult. It was an under-23 match being played at Home Park. So in 1974, he's been sacked by England for failing to get to the 74 World Cup. In Germany, he's been sacked. Sorry, just lost the 72 Olympics. I'm just getting the years muddled up. So it's 1974 World Cup in Germany, and ITV sign him as their pundit and special guy. So they decide that I'm going to be his interviewer and chaperone, amongst other things like Johan Cruyff and we'd bought and everything else for interviews. So I didn't know what was going to be ahead of me, but I got on with him really well. We travelled the length and breadth of Germany with a chauffeur up and down the autobahns. I spoke more to him on the interviews than I did in the car. I sat in the front, he sat in the back with his wife, Lady Vicky, and on the interviews he was fine, absolutely fine. And we struck up a good interest. I had an interest in a greyhound that reached the final, the Greyhound Derby final. It was a big news in those days, 50,000 people at White City, called Jimson. And the owners wanted to fly me back because I was a good luck charm, and ITV obviously wouldn't release me. I'm in Dusseldorf with my wife's come out, or my fiancée as she was at the time, or no, she was married then. So she's come out and joined us, and I've taken Alf and her to a restaurant in Dusseldorf in the Old Town. And I'm trying desperately to get the result of this dog race because I've got money on it. Anyway, I eventually got through to the News of the World, and because I knew their number because I wrote football for them. And the guy says, and if you won the dog result, it was Jimson. So and in his understated way, Ramsey looked at me and said, I take it the dog won. You see, so I said, yeah. Anyway, at the end of it, he put in a really good word for me with the bosses, which I really appreciated, and thanked me very much for looking after him, and it was a pleasure. And he said, I had no idea how difficult your job was. And indeed, if I were to be a manager again, which I won't be, I would treat you people much differently. I said, well, thanks, that's really nice to know, Alf. Anyway, amazingly, he becomes manager of Birmingham City. And they lose 4-0 at Coventry, and I'm the interviewer, and I knock on the door because you could do that in those days. And he answered, hello, Gary. Nice to see you. Hello, Alf. Any chance of an interview? No, thank you. And shut the door.